Well. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Guess who's back? Welcome to Ask Czarina. It's been a few weeks. I apologize. Um, but I'm going to be so transparent with you right now. I have had a pretty stocked past couple of weeks. I'm saying stocked instead of busy because everybody's against the word busy these days. Busy's relative, etc., etc. But I've had a fairly robust month so far, or fairly robust last month, and sometimes you just have to kind of prioritize. Like sometimes something's got to give. And this was one of those things, and I felt terrible about it because I felt like we were having some great conversations week to week, but between speaking gigs and traveling to the West Coast and back to the West Coast and all of that jazz, it just got a little difficult. That's my excuse, and I am completely owning it. So I'm back. I plan to get back on a regular schedule, uh, posting something here every week. So this will be a bit of an unstructured episode of Ask Arena, just because so much has happened and I don't plan to cover it all right here, but I'll just kind of hit you with the highlights. I think I can hit you with the highlights. So before I get into anything, I do want to share that I have launched yet another thing. I launched a few weeks ago Ask Arena Live, which is, a different platform than what this was meant to be. This was meant to be very supplementary to the blog. So, this was supposed to give you more meat behind the things that I'm speaking about week to week. Ask Czarina Live is on Periscope, which is a live streaming app if you're not familiar. And I am essentially covering whatever the hell I want to. So sometimes it's HR related. The first episode was, I would say maybe even the first two episodes had tinges of HR. Tonight, in fact, I just decided to go all hot topics on everybody. And we talked about whether or not social media is destroying lives. So if you're interested in what I'm doing over on Periscope every week, Ask Arena Live happens at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Thursday. Feel free to hop over there and join me. There is the recent episode that's up there for the next 24 hours, so I would appreciate any replay viewers if you're interested in the topic. Chime in, let me know what you think. Tweet me at Czarina of HR and let me know what you think about what I had to say about this topic about whether social media is destroying lives. So there is that. This week, not only did I discuss this week's topic for Ask Arena Live, but I was also doing some recapping for IBM Insight. So last week I was in Vegas for IBM Insight, which was, oh my God, tremendous. Like literally tremendous. One of the best conferences I've been to ever, in my opinion. If you're not familiar with IBM Insight, it is a conference that they put on every year that is basically focused around advances in technology, analytics, um, mobile, just a very progressive conference. And there were just some great speakers. I mean, we got to hear from the woman that founded SETI Institute. We got to hear from the CEO of Whirlpool. We got to hear about a lot about partnerships. And so that's where I went this week on the blog. It's very fascinating to me to see a trend whereby businesses that you would normally think of as a competitor, I mean like head-to-head competitor, coming together in the name of putting a better product out, facilitating a better experience, serving the customer better. And I started to talk about this a bit back in June, not generally, but more specifically on the HR tech end of things. I did have the opportunity to sit down with HR tech advisor and Ward Chrisman, and we had this discussion about how, on the HR tech side, there's this whole buzz about open HR and open APIs and information being able to move fluidly from one system to the other and not being siloed, and how, certain companies are kind of coming together to facilitate a better experience. At that point, we were discussing the IBM SAP merger for the Connexa product, and also a certain portion of success factors. So that was one way that I saw that emerging this year. But now, having been at IBM Insight, it's so clear to me that they're onto something. And it's not such that the companies that are involved will not continue to compete against one another. I sense that they absolutely will, because they each have their own niche. But I think it's more about using their respective strengths in the market, as well as from a knowledge standpoint, to kind of leverage it on both ends of the spectrum to put out something that is exponentially better than what the customer has had in the past. And I'm excited about it because I think it's something, one, we haven't seen. And I also think that it's getting us back to this whole premise of what I like to speak a lot about, which is, when we talk about the world of work, putting talent first, realizing that your business doesn't run without your people. And so really making sure you focus your strategies and your efforts around making your employees happy, content, and giving them the resources to be productive. But in this regard, this is much more about the customer and really being customer centric. Even though a lot of businesses preach that they're all about the customer and the customer comes first, in many regards, the customer isn't first. For a lot of different reasons, either because they're not being served properly from a customer service standpoint, or because the product lacks in so many different regards that it ceases to even be of any use to the customer at all, or it's not consistently of use to a customer or to a person. So to get back to this kind of focus of, hey, people are patronizing us, they're spending good money with us, how do we continue to kind of feed the beast and supply something that's of value in the marketplace? Huge. So, there was a lot about IBM partnering with a lot of different startups. I enjoyed a talk between IBM and American Red Cross, where they're working on this app that would have push notifications for minute-to-minute information during catastrophic weather events. Huge. I know in New York we've had at least 2 set events where this would have been huge, so it just resonated. And even within this app, it's not so much just the push notifications, it doubles as a flashlight. It also doubles as an alarm, so that if people happen to be stranded, which that often happens, the authorities can find them in a timely fashion. So, this is IBM leveraging their technology, and overlaying that with what the weather company, who they're about to acquire into their Internet of Things division, what the weather company already knows about weather and these kinds of things. So it's like weather company knows weather, they know catastrophic events. American Red Cross understands the aspect of the search rescue aspect, emergency preparedness piece. And then you have IBM with Watson Analytics and all of that stuff. And it's a beautiful marriage. It really is. And, there was just a lot of that at IBM Insight. So wanted to share that because, you should know that if I was away for any time, I was actually away for a good reason. It was to be able to come back and bring you all of this, information from the future, so that you know what's going on in the world. I always aim to kind of bring something new and a different perspective through this platform. And my hope is always that it's of value. So if you were there, I'm sure you're still reeling from it like I am. If not, I do think you can go to the if you Google like IBM Insight, you may actually be able to watch some live streaming from there. They also had Ron Howard and Brian Grazer there. I didn't get to see them. I had to leave out because I had a speaking engagement back in New York, but I heard they were great. I heard they were phenomenal, so you may want to catch that as well if you happen to be a Ron Howard or Brian Grazer fan. So that's what I'm talking about this week on the blog, and obviously you can find that at the aristocracyofhr.com to check out the full article, and you can certainly also check the new way to work hashtag, so hashtag new way to work on Twitter. There's great information being shared, and more specifically about IBM Insight. There were 30 of us futurists, influencers there, and I think we're all finally getting to a place where we've kind of synthesized this information that we've received, and it's starting to kind of marinate. And so we're all getting around to writing pieces about what we learned. So definitely follow that hashtag for more information on the conference. That is pretty much where I'm going to leave you for now. I will add that tomorrow I will be on Black Biscope again. And if you're not familiar with Black Biscope, excuse me, can you speak, Janine? If you are not familiar with Black Biscope, it is a community that supports Black-owned businesses, and I believe they started back in July. 3 women. It's Christine St. Ville, Adia Rogers, and I swear this happened to me on Ask Czarina Live. Can't remember Pam's last name. It will come to me, but Pamela of Coils by Nature. She's huge in the natural hair care world. So anyway, these 3 came together and they decided that there was a community sorely needed in support of Black-owned businesses. I was one of the first people to kind of jump on this along with other business owners, and so I was on Black Biscope on Periscope back in August. They are extreme givers, and we have a great Facebook community that I'm a part of, and so they've decided for November to open up the floor to their members again in preparation for the holidays, so that people can kind of get the community and also the viewers excited about some discounts and new programs and et cetera, et cetera. So I am launching a program that I am currently working on with a group of people, and something that I haven't really opened up to the masses. I'm going to share on Black Biscope tomorrow and offer a discount for participation. So I am like happy, excited, nervous, because like this has been a very concealed kind of program till now. And so I'm just hoping that people see the value in it in the same way that I feel like it's a valuable thing, and I will keep you posted on how that goes. But if you're interested, you can join me tomorrow at 6:15 p.m. when I go on Black Biscope and talk about this program. And if you're interested, you are more than welcome to take advantage of the discount that I will be giving, and it's a very generous discount on this program. So you'll want to stay tuned, and certainly should stay tuned for the whole thing, which the evening hour goes from 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. Just great businesses, great communities, and if you just want to learn about some businesses that are doing great things out there, you should definitely check it out. But if you want to know what I'm cooking, what I've got going on in my pot, you should probably hang around at 6:15 on Periscope. I'm at Czarina of HR, and I will be sharing a little bit about what it is I have been working on for the past few months. So really excited, and lots of great things going on in my corner. lots of crazy, but it's crazy good. And I am going to be back at being here more every week, if not more, if I can, and keep the momentum going, because I feel like we had a good thing going this year here. So that's all. I'm going to leave you guys for now. If you, again, are interested in this week's article, it's Competitive Partnerships for the Future of Business. You can find it at the aristocracyofhr.com. If you are not familiar with my baby, my business, my movement, Talent Think Innovations, you need to check out talentthinkinnovations.com. That's where you can find out more about what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and how I can help. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a great day, night, whatever it is, wherever you are in the world, and have a great, great weekend. And thank you for watching. Take care.